Very much for joining us. I've known you a long time. You are a victim's advocate. I'm sure that you are very distressed by this. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. The focus is certainly not on me, and good morning. It's nice to see you, Chris. Long story short, Trenton Duckett still has not been found, and at this juncture, police are agreeing with me right now. They are now trying to search what we have now learned to be the most recent known whereabouts of Melinda Duckett just hours before Trenton Duckett went missing. What you just showed was the end of practically an hour-long televised broadcast there on Headline News, where for an hour Melinda Duckett would not admit, she would not take a polygraph, would not give police a timeline, and now police are trying to construct that without the help of Trenton's mother.
And that's the whole question here, Nancy Grace. Do you feel responsible now that some of the information that could have helped police is gone forever with this mother? Do you feel that maybe your hardline stance may have made it more difficult to find this little boy?
No, I don't. My interview followed hours and hours of police interrogation of Melinda Duckett. Unfortunately, Melinda Duckett had attempted suicide in the past. In fact, I now learn, according to the Orlando Sentinel, that DFACS, the Department of Family and Children's Services, had actually taken the baby away from her and put him in foster care for 4 days. They were concerned how she would treat the child. His
that
family,
may be soon,
the
Nancy
husband...
Grace, but let me ask you this, because, you know, we have to be respectful of both the situation here. Yes, maybe there were suicide attempts, maybe you have the state action with the kids, but do you have any reason to believe that this woman did anything to her child?
Well, you know what, Chris? I've handled a lot of murdered cases and missing children cases, and the first person you look at is the person last seen with the child. And she now admits to her attorney, her own lawyer has come forward and stated she grabbed a shotgun, a diaper bag, and the baby hours before he went missing and went on an 8-hour odyssey through Ocala National Forest for target practice. And that is exactly where police are searching today with cadaver dogs, Chris. So maybe we can take a little dose of common sense and figure out where police are headed. But to suggest a 15 to 20-minute interview caused someone to commit suicide, I feel is focusing on the wrong thing.
Why do you think it happened?
It should be focused.
Why do you think it happened, Nancy Grace? After the interview, within 24 hours, it was a very difficult interview, there was a lot of stress. Do you feel any responsibility?
I think it happened because Melinda Duckett may very well know where her son was. She even told her mother just before she killed herself, "Trenton's not coming home, Mom. He's not coming home." How, Chris, would she have known that? If anything, I would suggest guilt caused her to commit suicide. And while I sympathize with her family and know as a first-hand victim of crime myself, you look for somebody to blame, anybody. And today the family is blaming me. And I hate what they're going through. But I would suggest their efforts go toward finding this baby.
The idea of a journalist, an interviewer, and then being a judge or a jury, do you believe that that line has become a little bit blurred? That when you go after someone in an interview, maybe you're taking on a job that's not the job to have?
Sir, I did not go after Melinda Duckett. Correction. Melinda Duckett refused to answer questions to either myself or police about her child's whereabouts. It is highly likely he is dead now because of that.
I understand that, Nancy. Now, let me